Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be putting two minor modifications on the SDL25 crawler dumper. I know I said I was done doing modifications, but are we ever really done doing modifications to our machines? Are we? Are we? You know the answer. So thanks to the Facebook groups, some guy posted that he had put a new exhaust on this machine. And I saw it and I said, that looks what I want to do. So I bought one and I'm going to show it to you right now. So here's the exhaust. And I painted it with this Rust-Oleum engine 600-degree ceramic coating. It has cured overnight. And so it is dry and ready to go on the machine. And then the second thing I'll be doing today is I learned a lot. I didn't really learn this lesson. I knew this lesson. I just ignored it. I bought this timer from Temu and I paid $8 for it. And guess what? It was worth less than that because it is broken. It worked till 1 hour and then it stopped. So I bought a new one on Amazon for $20 and I think it's a better one, allegedly. So I'm going to be putting this one on. This one actually you can reset it if you want. You can move it from machine to machine or whatever, and you can change the colors on it. So we'll put that on also. Now that I have my fuse box on, this is a pretty easy swap out of any of your gauges, and that's why I did that. So let's start with the gauge. We'll do that because that's going to be a quick one, and then we'll move on over and do the exhaust. Nice thing about this gauge is they actually give you a plug-in in the back for the cord. So you can actually attach the cords and then run it over and plug it in, which makes it a much more, it makes it an easier operation because you're not trying to fight the length of the cords coming down from here and over. You can just do all your connections and then plug it in quickly. So, I mean, minor, but you know, that does work. And you know, you can see it just drops right into the hole we drilled. And I'll go ahead and screw that in, make my connections, and we'll come back and we'll see what this one looks like. Okay, that was a snap to wire in, and with those heat shrink connectors, and let's go ahead and turn it on and see what it looks like. And there it is. Seems to be working, but so did the last one. Now, this one has a push button on it that allegedly, if you push it, I can change the colors. And I think it's only appropriate for this machine that we turn it yellow. And that works very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to make sure it works for one. And two, this one is resettable. So if it should be left on, and that's kind of the nice thing about this unit here, you can actually just, you can actually change the numbers. So if this says 5 hours, you know it's 5 hours, you leave it on overnight and you come back and it says 20 hours because you didn't check it for, you know, till the end of the next day or whatever, you can actually go in and change the different digits on it to whatever it should have been. So obviously that's important in case you accidentally leave it on. Now, I know they do sell a meter that you can get. It's battery powered. You put it on, you wrap it around the spark plug, and it only records the hours when it's running, and it records the RPMs too. So that might be something you might want to consider too. You can't hardwire it, takes batteries, but hey, it's an alternative. I might add one on my excavator. They're pretty cheap. I'll link to it in the description of this video so you can see what that looks like. And I'll link this one also in case you want to put an hour meter on your unit. So anyways, let's go on and get to that. So if you're going to do this, you're going to have to remove your current muffler, obviously. Then this muffler is going to fit and curl around and come out the bottom down here. Now, the only complaint I've seen online about this is some say that it's a little bit too close to the carburetor and you may have to put a heat shield on it. So we're going to cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, we're just going to get it installed and feel what kind of heat is coming off of it after we start the machine. And then we'll make a determination if we need to do some minor adjustment to the heat shielding around that particular exhaust. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take off my metal baffle here so I can get to the bolts on the muffler and take this off. So now that that heat shield's off, you can see there's just 2 bolts down here that hold the exhaust pipe to the muffler. So let's take those off and take this muffler off. Okay, that's off. That required a a 13 millimeter wrench and an 8 millimeter. There's a bracket also on this, so there's just these two bolts in this bracket, and then the muffler assembly comes right off, as you can see. So that's pretty simple to take off. So we'll just go ahead and then grab our new one and put it on, and they supply you with the gasket and the bolts to put this on it comes with it. So here is the gasket and the two bolts that are supplied. They're not the traditional bolts. These are going to require your Allen head wrench or socket to get those in, which is fine. You have plenty of access here to do that. So let's go ahead and put this on. So in order to do this and tighten those bolts up that they gave you, you're going to need these Allen style sockets. I'm going to link to these in the description from Amazon, but you can see this thing went right up. It has a gasket on it, which the other one didn't, so that's an improvement right there. And if you come back over here, you'll see it comes out neatly here at the bottom, kind of out of the way. Now, the hope here is, now some people have said this belt might be getting too hot with this exhaust right here, but others have commented that it's fine. So we're going to find that out. And then down here, you can see how close this is running to the carburetor. And so, you know, some people said you might need a heat shield here. We're going to find out. You're putting some heat here on the bottom of the engine, but it's out in the open. It's not enclosed. So let's fire it up and see how it does. Our heat shield is in place, and it does not interfere at all. The exhaust is here. Heat shield's here. That big exhaust area that was blowing everywhere over here is gone. So now we just have this nice little exhaust down here. So let's see what it does to the bottom of my engine, because I'm curious about that. So let's fire it up and let it run for a while. By the way, our meter seems to be working. We are clocked in at 0.4 rather hours. Now allegedly I can push this button and reset that to 0 if I hold it for 10 seconds. There it goes, back to 0. So it's a nice way to reset your meter in case it runs all night. And then you can just pick up where you left off, or you can change the numbers individually if that's something that you remember what it was at the last time you ran the machine. So we're going to leave it on for now because we're going to start this thing up, take it outside, and see how this thing sounds and runs and how hot. Okay, I took it for a spin, and it's been running for probably 10 minutes. I mean, there's no heat over here at all. Just, I can keep my hand right here. Obviously, it's hot here. And yeah, they're right. It is hot at this. I think a heat shield is warranted up here, or heat shielding of some type. So let me look at what I can do there, and if I come up with something quick here, I'll put it on this video. But let me think about this. After I shut the engine off, I was able to actually take my hand and put it directly on the carburetor without getting, it was warm, not hot. So what I decided to do is I'm not going to put the metal, I don't think you need it. If you put metal on yours as a heat shield, absolutely nothing wrong with it. I've seen guys put like a coil of, I guess it looks like dryer material right here around one. And you know, I change my mind all the time on stuff, so I might. So for now, I'm just going to do a watch and see. If it starts to run weird, I'll do it. But this ran for probably 20 minutes without any issues. And again, I can put my hand right on the carburetor here. It is hot on the muffler. There's no doubt, it's a muffler. But this wasn't hot. So what I did as an interim, I just put this piece down here is the one that, you know, is going to get really hot. I put some peel and stick heat shield on that. And then what was left over from what I cut, I put here on the carburetor. Maybe a waste of my time, but it's what I had, and it's what I'm going to try. As far as sound goes, I'll have to get my decibel meter and see if it quieted it down a bit. Let's do that right now and get an impression of what the sound is. All right, we're going to start this up. We're going to let it get the temperature. We're going to shoot it with the heat gun, see what kind of temps we're getting. And we're going to check the decibels on this thing to see how loud it is compared to the old muffler, to see if that made any difference. Just a quick aside though, if you're like me and you like dragging stuff home that you probably shouldn't, a buddy of mine was moving and he gave me his 16.5-foot bar bowling machine that I actually got for him over 20 years ago. And this thing is in just absolutely beautiful shape. And I probably shouldn't have taken it because it's on my trailer sitting in my garage, but I did, so it's here. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll restore it. I still have those two hot oil popcorn machines over there to restore. Coin operated, by the way, very rare. So I have a lot of projects, you guys. I may have to start another channel and run through all those restorations with you guys. But anyways, back to this unit. Let's go ahead and fire it up and let it get warm up, and then I'll come back and we'll check it. Okay, so we're running. Let's check our decibels and see what it looks like. And we're running at 91, 95, 95 decibels, so and at idle, down to about 82. So ear protection required. It didn't really calm that down much, which I didn't expect it to be honest with you. It's the vibrations and everything else that cause a lot of trouble. Now, as far as heat goes, as you would expect, this is cool as a cucumber here. 99, 100. Down here, where the pulley is, on this side, 157, 140. So nice and cool on this side. This side's going to be a different story. We've got a bend right here. So on the pulley, it's 226, and on the belt, it's hot. So down here, this is the hot part of the muffler. I mean, you're looking at 700 degrees. Probably not the greatest for this piece right here. Clocking in at, on this side of the shield, 400 degrees or so. The carburetor, 160. So not sure. It might be worth wrapping that exhaust in heat wrap. So I think I'm going to order some exhaust wrap, take that off, and wrap the muffler. It can't hurt to do that. So I'm going to do that. But I think for the most part, we can just leave it alone. We'll see if it runs weird. But seems to be fine. It really protects you from putting your hand right here. Now this area here is now cool. And you're not going to set anything here, put your hand here and burn yourself. So I kind of like the muffler. I think I'll wrap it, but I think that's all I'm going to do for now. And we'll see how she holds up. I'm not using this for extended periods of time. This is a unit that, for the most part, I run it down, dump my load, come on back, and shut it off. So it's not running like your excavator is for hours on end. This is kind of a just on and off unit, so I think it's going to be just fine. So I think that will do it for today. Thank you to everybody on Facebook, on the groups for this machine, who brought up that mod, showed where to get that exhaust. I'm going to share it out for others. You can see it's an easy one to do. I'm not quite sure yet about those temperatures. Please let me know what you're doing on yours, and if it's running funny or anything weird has happened. I think I will wrap that exhaust, but I do like that new muffler. Even though it doesn't quiet it down, and it might just create a problem somewhere else with the heat, we're going to find out. But I like the way it looks, and it's kind of now tucked up out of the way. So that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if this is the first video you're watching about this unit. I have a whole playlist of modifications I've done to this, so I'm going to link to that here in this video for you to watch. So this is Jeff with the Jeffscavator channel. And until next time, are you digging or are you filling?